So welcome to our audience. Thank you for joining us. This is a special by Leo Hira. I am really pleased to have an opportunity to discuss the project management aspects of the rail project. And the reason I think it's really important is because there's some awful good people, okay, who are involved in managing that. And with all the discussion that's taking place, positive and negative, sometimes we lose sight of that. And just as in the military or any place else, the people in the field are the ones who are really on the front line of doing things. And so what we're trying to do today is to make sure there's an understanding by the public that the plan that is in place is sound, that the people who are involved in the plan are professionals, they know what they're doing, and as the project goes forward, that it'll be managed properly and carefully and with reasoned thought. So I'd like to welcome Lorenzo Garrido.
Pleased to meet you.
Thank you so much for joining us, and it's my understanding that you are the Director of Engineering and Construction.
That's right.
So I assume, okay, that you're not a lawyer, you're not a history major, you're an engineer.
That's correct.
Okay, and what field of engineering are you involved in?
Well, my degree, I have a bachelor's in civil engineering, so that's my background and experience in the transportation area, in transit and highway transportation.
Okay, and you've worked on those projects here, or have you worked in other locations as well?
I've worked projects in California, in Southern California, in San Diego and Los Angeles, where I've worked on transit projects in San Diego and LA, and as well as highway transportation. So I've done all facets of project development in transportation for both transit and other transportation modes. So preliminary engineering through the final design and all the way into construction management.
Well, it sounds like an excellent background. So we're in good hands in terms of getting an understanding of what's going on in this project. And is it proper to refer to the construction and engineering, or the engineering and construction of the project, as HART?
Yes, HART was formed through charter as a semi-autonomous agency of the City and County of Honolulu. The charter was to develop, build, operate, and maintain the rail transit project. So okay. we are responsible for the full process of engineering and construction.
When I look at a capital project, I think about the from the preliminary engineering through startup. Is this project somewhat different because now it includes the operational aspect of it? Because in the industries I worked in, that was more of an expense item than a capital item.
Yeah, you're correct. The capital program is strictly for design, construction, to get the project built and ready for operation. The operations and maintenance is a separate budget, separate program. But our role is to ensure that we are designing, constructing for an operable and maintainable system. And one of our contracts, the core systems contract, which provides and procures the vehicles and all the traction systems, the communications, the brains of the network, so to speak, that has a design, build, operate, and maintain contract. So we are not only just focused on simply the design and construction, we're thinking of the customer at the end of the day, as well as the maintainers, HART, who will maintain it. So even though from a capital program, yes, in the traditional sense, it is design and construction.
Okay, all right. So when I look at the objectives of a private project, private company project, I look at it in the context of the company's going to make money. I mean, that's why they put capital funds into a capital project. When you look at a public transportation project, what are you looking at from an objective standpoint?
What we're looking at ultimately our goal, and through the very development of the environmental document all the way through the process, is to deliver the purpose, to meet the purpose and need. Okay. And the purpose and need was to mitigate and provide a transportation solution for the corridor. And that is ultimately the purpose and the need being that there's there's need to improve mobility through the corridor, so the purpose is to build the project to meet that need. So through the process, it was concluded that we would have a steel wheel on steel rail fixed guideway system that would be completely separated from any traffic, so elevated. And so that is really our goal. So what we look at is to design and construct the most cost-effective solution to meet that need.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because traditionally when I look at capital projects, it's within budget, on schedule, and meeting the performance and quality requirements that are specified in the specifications or the needs identified. And that's the same thing.
We have that purpose and need. It was voted on with executing the project. And so as we execute it, we're looking at all the various criteria. We've established design standards, design criteria, specifications, quality requirements, and risk contingency and management requirements. So all of that flows from as part of executing and managing the program.
Okay, all right. So when you divide this the capital project up into segments, what are the segments, the major segments that are part of the project?
Well, what we look at are the fixed facilities and then the operational facilities. So on the fixed facilities, we have the structure, the infrastructure, the guideway structure, the columns and foundations to support the vehicles. We also have utilities. So there's utility work that needs to be cleared out. There's management, traffic management systems that need to be in place. And then the stations. How do you get the patrons and the customers into the system? So we have station facilities, we have the guideway, and we have all the support. So we have the electrification. So we have to plan for the traction power substations that deliver the electricity. All of those are part of the fixed facilities.
Okay, that's the fixed facility.
Yes.
Okay.
In addition, we also have the operations and maintenance facility. Okay. So it's a 43-acre site. We're going to have a maintenance yard, and that's where we're going to. That's also a fixed facility. Okay. And we have the operational and the system component. So we have the communications, and we have the vehicles, and that part of the system.